As Nebraska fans, we know how important this season is for our program. For the first time in over a decade, the Huskers are in line to take a big step back to national relevancy, to be in the mix for 8-9 wins. Some people are even expecting double digit for the Big Red. And with that, we've seen a lot of national media attention. We've seen a lot of expectations. And while a lot of people are expecting big things from us, I still have a bunch of concerns, and I bet you do too. So in today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. This is going to be an interactive video. I want to hear from you. Get in the comment section and let me know your biggest concern that you have for Nebraska going into 2025. I'm going to give you a couple that I have. We'll talk throughout this video. It'll be a conversation back and forth. Before we get into it, once again, hit that like button and really quick support the channel and hit that subscribe button. More than anything, really would make my day. Join the best family here at Husker YouTube of over 10,000 strong. But basically what we're going to do in this video is I want to hear from you. What are your biggest concerns for Nebraska going into this year to have the season that we're all expecting? To win potentially 8 games, to win potentially 9 games. What is in our way from being just an average 6-win squad to taking that big leap that we know we can? In your mind, what needs to be accomplished in order to do that? Because I have a couple that I've picked out. I'll give you some ideas. The first thing that I'm really looking out for Nebraska this year, in order to take that big step, is on the defensive side of the football. It's on the D-line, and in particular, it's the pass rush. I think that the pass rush is the second most important thing in football besides your quarterback play, because there's no other position besides quarterback that can single-handedly change a ball game. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have a great secondary and a great linebacker core. If your D-line stinks and you can't get to the quarterback in time, somebody's going to get open eventually. Okay. On the flip side, it doesn't matter how bad your secondary is. If you have an elite pass rushing unit and they get to the quarterback in a split second, there's going to be an incompletion. There's going to be a sack. There might be a forced fumble there. It's so much harder to game plan for a good pass rush than to game plan, potentially for a good secondary. And for that reason, Nebraska needs to take that big step. I feel great about us in the run-stopping department. We've always had a good run-stopping unit under Matt Rhule. We were top 10 last year. We're going to be top 10 again, obviously, with guys like Elijah Judy, Riley Van Poppel, Keona Davis, Cameron Lenhart, just to name a few. All of those guys are primary run stoppers. But my big concern is, can we find a primary pass rusher on this team? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be a Williams Nwaneri? Is it going to be a Jalen George? Can Keona Davis be the Ndamukong Suh that people were talking about? Because I truly believe if we have an average pass rush, kind of like we had last year, we're only going to win maybe 6 or 7 games. But if we do have that next level top 20 pass rush, and again, should be noted, last year it wasn't even top 40. We act like our D-line was so great last year. We didn't even have a top 40 pass rush last year. If we can somehow take a step forward to top 30, top 20, I see no reason why Nebraska can't win 8-9 games. So that's the first concern that I have. Again, feel free to continue to put your stuff in the comment section. I'll get to that in another video, but I absolutely want to hear your concerns. The second thing that I'm really looking out for is the running back room for Nebraska. Okay, and I know this is going to be more of a pass-heavy offense with Dana Holgorsen. I don't want to call it air raid, but we're going to be throwing the football a lot more than we're going to be running it. Just know that. But with that being said, the running backs are still going to have a role. The running backs are still going to be involved a lot in this offense, whether that's in the blocking department, whether that's catching passes. Obviously, they're still going to run the football. So I just don't believe this running back room as it stands is very good. And I like Emmett Johnson. I think he can have an all-Big Ten type of season. But Emmett Johnson's not a Heisman running back. He's not a first-round draft pick. He's not... I wouldn't say he's a top 10 running back in the country. I don't think he has that ceiling. Like, he's going to be very serviceable for Nebraska. He's going to be very good, but is he going to be elite? Is he going to be a game changer who defenses really have to be scared of? I just don't know if he's that good. Okay. And then as for Emmett Johnson, you don't really have anybody else in that running back room that you feel great about. Obviously, Quinn Ives, he's a wild card. He dealt with a lot of injuries during spring ball. Mekhi Nelson's a wild card. You got Jamarion Parker, who I like as a true freshman, but also has a lot of injury concern. And that's really about it. So the running back room is a big concern for me for Nebraska. Again, you just have to have some stability there. And we're getting to the point where, I don't even want to say this, if there's a bunch of injuries in that room, we might have one of the worst running back departments in all of Power 4 football. So that's something that I really hope Nebraska can figure out as the season progresses. Like, somebody needs to step up, play a lot more than what we're expecting, to play at a high level. So that's the second concern I have. Third concern is simply this: Dylan Raiola's development. Like, I know it's very simple. I know it's probably what you guys already put in the comment section, but Dylan Raiola's development single-handedly is going to impact this season because we know with this Dana Holgorsen offense, we're going to be airing out the football a lot more. If Dylan is only a top 30 quarterback in America, like, okay, cool, we're only going to win maybe 6 or 7 games. We know that's how it is. But if Dylan can be consistent, can fix all of his accuracy issues, can take that big leap that we know he can as a former 5-star quarterback to be a top 15 quarterback in America, his arm alone is going to win us a lot of ball games. Okay, quarterbacks can change the dynamic of a team just by their arm alone. Dylan Raiola can do that. So I'm worried about Dylan Raioala's development. I'm concerned about that because that really is in between us only winning 6 games to potentially winning 8, to potentially making a cultural playoff. If he's elite, if he's a top 10 quarterback, I see no reason why Nebraska can't win 10 games. So that's my third concern. Fourth concern I have, and again, continue to put stuff in the comment section, what you're thinking, your biggest concern. I really want to read what you have to say. Fourth concern is simply this game planning, because that's what's killed Nebraska in the past decade. It's never been the roster, it's never been the talent, it's been game planning, executing on game day from a schematic standpoint. Okay, and even Matt Rule hasn't done that at high levels. We know Scott Frost did it, we know Mike Riley did it, but Matt Rule has routinely got out game planned by opposing Big Ten head coaches. That changes this year, in my opinion. Obviously, with adding Dana Holgorsen, adding Phil Snow, a couple other veteran names to this coaching staff, I think we're going to be a lot better when it comes to game planning, when it comes to preparation, when it comes to being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. But that's something that I still have to pencil down as one of my big concerns. Like, when it comes to game day, are we going to do the right things at the right moment from a schematic standpoint to get the win? Okay, are we going to use our clock? Are we going to manage the clock at a wise level, right? Are we not going to burn our timeouts early on when we shouldn't burn them, right? We did that a lot in Matt Rule's year 1 and year 2. Really worried about that as my fourth. And then my fifth and final thing that I'm always worried about when it comes to Nebraska, in order to get maybe 8 wins, how can we handle expectations reasonably as a program? Because it feels like every time Nebraska has expectations, we crumble. Okay, the second we get ranked for the first time, we crumble, just like we did last year versus Illinois. The first time the national media starts talking about us extensively, we crumble. We are not very good under the spotlight. Okay, we haven't beat a ranked team, I want to say since, 2016, 2015? We have like a 22 losing streak, 22 game losing streak against ranked teams. All that being said, we are really, really bad with expectations. Can we change that this year? Can we have a winning culture that, once again, in uncomfortable situations, how can we be comfortable? That's probably my biggest concern for Nebraska this year. If we can establish a winning culture, establish being comfortable in close games, establish being comfortable with the spotlight on us, being ranked, having expectations by the national media, being talked about every single day by these pundits, I feel really good about where we stand. But that's more of a psychological thing. That's not something that we can really track. But that's definitely probably my biggest concern for Nebraska. So those are some ideas that I have for you. But the purpose of this video was to gauge the fan base. Please take as long as you need, whether that's 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and comment down below, in your opinion, what's in between Nebraska from only winning 6 games next year to potentially winning 8 to potentially winning 10. What is your biggest concern? What is your biggest question? I want to hear what you have to say. Let me know in the comment section. Once again, please hit that like button and subscribe for the latest here on the WilsonDittman Sports Channel. And as always, folks, go be great, go Matt Rule, and I'll see you in the next one.